I'm back with another video showing you how people are getting a tax refund without having employment for the entire year. If you ever want a direct line straight to me to talk about whatever you want to talk about, then you should consider becoming a member. I set the membership at this price for the more serious people who are really trying to connect and want their questions answered faster. At the moment, it's the only way to contact me besides the comment section. So, if you don't mind waiting, just leave a comment and I'll respond to you as fast as I can. But truly, I prioritize all of my channel members like my own family. But anyways, for this video, we'll be using TurboTax again, and for the next video, I'm thinking about switching it up to using TaxAct. But if you already have an account, then sign in. And if you don't have one yet, then you need to create one. Once you log in, it should look something like this. On the next page, you want to click Maximize Deductions and Credits. Then under Employment, you want to select I have a job. Under Family, we'll say no, but if you have children that you're claiming, then select yes. Also, for every child you add, you will receive an extra $2,200. For housing and investments, just choose the answers for whatever your situation is. Just know that these questions won't affect anything. But when you get done with that, click Continue. The next page is How comfortable do you feel doing your own taxes? Click Comfortable on my own and click Continue. Next, you want to click Do It Yourself. How did you do your taxes last year? To avoid any extra questions, I like to choose Did not file last year and click Continue. On this page, they want your first and last name, your date of birth, and your occupation. Under Occupation, you can just put the company name, or you can look up what positions are available for the company you chose. For example, we chose Taylor Farms. And if we go to the company's page, it'll have a link you can go to for current job openings. And if you click that link, it will take you to a LinkedIn page with all current job openings. From here, we can find any position we want to and put it inside of the box for our occupation. For this example, we'll use Safety Manager. And when you get done, click Continue. Next, you want to put your address, city, state, zip code, and phone number. And as you can see right now, we're doing a refund for California. But when you get done, click Continue. On the next page, you want to enter your real social security number and then you want to click Continue. On this page, it says, let's check for some other situations. You want to select No for armed forces, and then you want to go down, and then you want to select your state of residence on December 31st, 2025. And for that, we'll select California. For select any other situations that apply, select None of these apply. When you get done with that, select Continue. On the next page, about your household, you want to select Single. On Do you have any dependents, we'll select No, but if you do have any, then this will be the time to add them on your return. But when you get done, hit Continue. These are just some documents to sign, but just go into them and decline to sign them and move on to the next page. But next, we'll be moving on to the most important part, wages and income. So first you want to click on Work on your W-2 and then click Continue. Now you want to enter the employer identification number. For this, we have to go and find the correct EIN number for the company we'll be using. We'll be using Taylor Farms for this example, but if you want to use a different company, then you can come to this Wikipedia website and find any company you want to use. I go into more details about what companies to choose in other tax videos, but that's basically where I find the companies at. But now that we have our employer, which is the company we just chose, we can go over to the company search website and get the employer identification number that we need. So we'll type Taylor Farms inside of the box and press search. Now, there are two options, but only one of these are in California, and that's the bottom one. So we'll open the page in a new tab and let's go look at it. If we go to the top and click on company information, right here are all the details that we need. So we'll go in here and copy the EIN number on the left side and then take it back and paste it inside of the box. And when you get done, press Continue. Next, to add your W-2, just click Type it in myself and click Continue. Now we have to add all of the employer's details from the company information page. And when you're done with that, click Continue. Now we move on to filling out the W-2 section so you can get a refund. The first thing we have to do is make up some numbers for boxes 1, 3, and 5, with the largest amount being in box number 1. So for box 1, a more believable amount for me would be $71,000. So that's the number we'll put inside of box number 1. For box number 2, which is Social Security wages, we'll put $6,400. And for box number 5, which is Medicare wages and tips, we'll also put $6,400. Now that we have these numbers, we have to see how much tax is withheld from these amounts. So now we have to see how much federal income tax is withheld from $71,000. If we do a quick search, we can see that with our amount of $71,000, the tax rate is around 22%. So now we have to go to our percentage calculator and see how much 22% is of $71,000. And as you can see, the amount is $15,620. That's the number we'll put inside of box number 2 for federal withheld. Now we move on to social wages withheld. If we do a quick search, it says the tax withheld is 6.2%. Now we go back to our calculator and see what 6.2% is of $6,400. and our amount is around $396. We'll just round it up to $400 and put that amount inside of box number 4. Now we have to see how much taxes are withheld for Medicare wages and tips. If we do another search, we can see that the percentage withheld should be 1.45%. So now we go back to the percentage calculator and we see how much 1.45% is of $6,400. As you can see, our amount is around $92. So we'll just round this amount down to $90 and put that amount inside of box number 6. Now we'll move on to the state part, which is optional. But for box number 15, you want to select your state. Since we're using a California address, we'll just select California as our state. For employer state ID number, we'll use the same number we used previously for the employer's EIN number. So now we can go back to the company's information page and grab the EIN number again and put it inside of this box. For state wages and tips, we'll use the same exact number we used for box number 1, which is $71,000. Now that we have that information, we have to see how much we're putting inside of box number 17 for state income tax. So since we're filing a state return for California, we have to see what California's tax rate is. And if we do our search, we can see that the amount is different based on being single, married, or filing head of household. And we'll be filing as head of household, so for our amount, it's around 6%. Since we're filing a return without having a job in the first place, we don't really care about the extra calculations to get a more accurate percentage. So instead, we'll just go with a flat 6% tax rate. But now we have to go to our percentage calculator and see how much 6% is of $71,000. And as you see, our amount is $4,260. So we'll take that number and put it inside of box number 17. Now that we're done with everything, you want to look over the page and make sure everything looks good, then click continue. As you can see, it shows that we'll be getting a federal refund of $8,545. Also, no fix the amounts page popped up, so everything is looking good so far. For other situations, just click none of these apply, then select continue. And as you can see, everything is still going through without a problem. Also, it only shows a federal refund right now and not the state yet. But after we finish the state section, you'll be able to see the full amount from both federal and state. But let's say you wanted to get a bigger refund. All you would have to do is go back and change how much is withheld from the wages and tips. Let's say we change the amount inside of box number 2. Let's say we change it to a little over $29,000. If we go down and hit continue, we'll get a message telling us to double check our amounts. Basically, something is not looking right and they're trying to help you fix it. I like how TurboTax catches these types of things. It's their way of letting you know that the amount is too high and you need to change it. So let's change the amount to $23,000 and hit continue. As you can see, now everything is going through without a problem, and we now have a refund amount of $16,545. But now everything is pretty much done, and you can follow along with the rest of the video, but I'll be back in a second to show you how people are getting bigger refunds for their state return, and also, I'll be showing you the $30,000 crash out method. Talk to you in a second. As you can see, we now can see our state refund amount, but in a second, I'll show you how to make this amount bigger. Just a quick note, when you start filling out everything for California state return, it's okay to skip most of the items. If none of these things apply to you, just skip visiting the section altogether. It'll make the whole process go 10 times faster. The questions might look a little scary, but they're just trying to be able to cover everything so that any document anyone ever needs to file their tax return is already here. Now that you've seen everything, let's go back and get a bigger state return, and I'll also show you the $30,000 crash out method. So if we go back inside of the return and change box number 17 to $7,000, you can see our refund went up $3,000 to almost $5,000 now. And now let's go back and change it one more time to a higher amount. So if we now change the federal withheld to $25,000 and change the state income tax to $14,000, this would be the $30,000 crash out method. I don't recommend doing this at all, but I've gotten thousands of people telling me that they received the refund for over $30,000. I'm not encouraging you to do this, I'm just saying what I've heard. But as you can see, everything still went through without a problem or any red flags. As you can tell, I did this video for California because I had over 30 people asking me for it in the last 2 days. So I'll go through the comments again and get the next most commented state and do a video for that one. But if you guys found this video helpful at all in any way, then give it a like so I know to create more videos like this in the future. But until next time,